Hey, what is going on, guys? It's been a while since the last time I reviewed anything from Kotobukiya's Hexa line. I've really only reviewed with one kit because for the most part, most of the stuff in the line, it doesn't really appeal that much to me, to be honest. That said, this one, and this one are both pretty cool. So these have been on my list of ones that I did want to check out for a while. So we've got the Reyblade Impulse and then the Lord Impulse here as well too. The Reyblade Impulse is the one that came out first, so that's the one we'll take a look at first. And then in the next video, we'll take a look at the Lord Impulse and then see how they compare and everything. But I think they're going to be pretty similar, but they are definitely unique in their own ways as well too. So one thing that I do love about the Hexa stuff, and then Kotobukiya is just good at this in general, but their box art is always super cool. And it's in this vertical style, which is quite unique as well too. So that's always interesting to see. And just a reminder to you guys too, of course, we have all this cool Hexa stuff and everything else from Kotobukiya there at USA Gundam Store. So as always, the link to USA Gundam Store will be down in the video description below. Check that out. But let's go ahead and check out the box here for the Reyblade Impulse. So again, here on the front of the box, just really cool imagery there of the, well, what do I call it? Mecha? I don't know. It's sort of robot, I guess. Anyway, and then here on the bottom as well too, there of the Reyblade Impulse. Over here on the side of the box, you can see it's multiple modes. Here's the Zoatex mode, I guess, is what that's called anyway. So it's got this kind of animalistic look. I'm not sure what do you call that, like a lion, I guess, sort of, I suppose, maybe a sort of look of that. And it also transforms into a vehicle mode, and you can have a governor sitting on top of that, piloting that, or sort of driving that as well too. I don't have any governor figures, unfortunately, to use on this, so I'll see if there's anything I have. I think the hand scale frame arms girl kits also all work on these, so maybe I'll just use that. And there's a look at the naked frame there as well too. So of course the main thing with these is that you can just customize the hell out of them, because all the parts are all using like the same kind of sized connection points and things like that. So you can use all these different connection points, just customize these as you like. But I gotta say, it does look very cool. Around here on the other side, there's all units, so you can get a look at what's included. It's got that kind of cannon part that attaches onto like the side of the head. It's got the clear parts there for the blade. It's got an archive card, which we'll see here once we get the box opened up. Hexagram is, again, just talking about the joint system, or the universal kind of joint system that's used for these. You can customize them very easily using some of the parts there, like that, for example. And the list price for this one at 4,800 yen, not too bad. Should probably find the kit for around 45 bucks, something like that. For, you know, this size kit from Kotobukiya, that's not out of the ordinary at all. That seems pretty standard. So underneath all the runners and everything, I just wanted to check out the instructions here first, and also the card file. So here's the cool, like, kind of postcard thing you get included with this. Now this has some information here on the back. It's all in Japanese, but that's just information about the Reyblade Impulse there, I guess. But that artwork is really cool. I do like that. For the manual, it's also a little bit different, like how the box is vertical when it's usually horizontal, or the manual is usually vertical. In this case, it's horizontal switched, so that will fold out like that. There you go. You got your painting reference to the color guide there, and some nice product shots of that painted sample. And then we've got our parts list here, that is in color, and then starting off with the construction, or just kind of basic steps of the instruction here, it's in color. And it looks like all the manuals in color actually, so that should make it very easy for you. That's always nice. I couldn't remember if they was all in color or not, but we've got basic steps of the construction here. But if we skip ahead to the middle pages, here we've got a nice illustration there of the Reyblade Impulse, as well as the governor there and its sword weapon, the logo marking up here. Then over on this side, a couple of custom color variants. So if you wanted to paint this in different colors, there's a couple of ideas that you could use for that. Then it just goes through the rest of the construction. If we skip ahead here to the back, it's just going through the transformation, how to transform it into its vehicle mode. That's all there, and then that's basically it. So let's go ahead and check out the runners. Alright, so we don't have any stickers or decals or any markings of any kind, so we can get right into it here with the polycap runner there. We've got the PC runner in a kind of dark brownish color. Then we've got these rubber wheel parts, which are just separate. They're not connected to any runner or anything. We've got 5 of these. And then in this little bag here, a couple of like pre-pinned kind of joint parts there. Also our K runner here in a clear orangish color for a couple of clear parts. Number 8 is in this dark brownish gray gunmetal-y kind of color there. It looks pretty nice. Runner B is in a molded silver color, and we've got 2 of these. Runner C is a few parts here in black. Runner D is in this slightly purplish blue color, kind of reminds me of the color of the Hainu a little bit, but those look really nice. Runner E is in a little bit off-white cream color here for what would be looking like our kind of white parts for the kit. Runner F is some more parts in that purplish blue. We've got 2 of this F runner. Runner G is more of that metallic brownish gray color, including some weapons parts up there at the top, and some more joint parts and everything. We got some more of that here on the H runner as well too. We've got 2 of the H runner. Runner I is some pieces here in a nice dark red color. We've got 2 of these. And then runner J is our parts in clear blue, a couple little connection pieces, and then the main sword blades. And then we've got all of our kind of generic Hexagear parts, which are just able to be used with all the different kits. So we've got the A runner here, and we've got 2 of these, and we've got the E runner here, not E as in the alphabet E, E as in Japanese E. We've got 2 of these here as well. So there you have it, guys. As you can see, there's certainly plenty of parts in the box. Let me go ahead and get this put together, and we'll see how it looks. Alright guys, here it is all built up, looking very cool, and I gotta say, it's really interesting how this, at times when I was building it, felt similar to building a Zoids kit, because, obviously, but it definitely has this very different feel to it. I really like it. I was not aware, I mean, just looking at the photos and stuff on the box, I couldn't really quite tell just quite how much junk that this thing was packing in the trunk. It's got some very wide hips back there at the back with those tires and everything, so not too sure how much I like that aspect of the design. I think I might try to bring those hips in a little bit later on down the line if I were to get into painting this and everything. But anyway, it's a very cool design in general, though. Some cool features. It's got some seam lines and things on there, as you might expect from pretty much any Kotobukiya kit normally, but really not all that many. A lot of articulation built in there, of course, and overall pretty solid, so not too bad. Let's go ahead and check it out. So first off, for the accessories, we've got our 2 clear blade effect parts, and that's basically it. And these will just plug into this part here on the side of the shoulder. Kind of tricky to hold the kit and do this at the same time. And that can fold out to the side like that, and you could put one on each side like that, but in the manual it just shows you to put them both together. And unfortunately we only get 2. It would have been nice to have 4, then you can have 2 on this side and 2 on the other side, but you can have those slashing out to one side like that, and can you rotate that a little bit like that too, so you could change the angle or up or down, or have this kind of back, something like that, I suppose, but again, it's not really necessarily a proper way to do that, I guess. And so as for the seam lines that I mentioned, there being a couple notable ones here on the top right there, and then on the back, this part right there, big seam line on that. Very interesting how the kind of main body where the governor is meant to sit basically is just like the body of a motorcycle there, just now with this big mecha built around it, and you got like the kind of control panel up in there, so you can see how like if you painted that in or everything, that'd be looking pretty cool. Our clear blue parts here in the back, that one's not really all that noticeable really, and then the one for the eyes does look pretty nice in there as well too. For the articulation, these parts on the side of the head can be moved around. The guns, you can move them in and out like that, up and down. You can rotate this around this side as well too. So I think it's supposed to be like more like a grenade launcher kind of thing. This kind of front part of the top of the head there does move up and down a little bit like that. I guess if you wanted to make it look like it's roaring, kind of, sort of, I guess it kind of looks like that. That's just on a ball joint there. Between the head and the body, there's a joint that will move side to side, so you move the head side to side. Not any up and down movement there, though. That's because these are using those hexagonal joints. If those was like a circular in shape, you could then move it up and down as well too, but because that hexagon shape, it's not going to move up and down, so you'd have to change the joint or something. You could rotate the joint in there to, rather than being side to side, to moving up and down instead. You could just change the position of the joint in there, I suppose, if you want to have it like looking up or down. But basically as it is, it's meant to just look kind of side to side there. For the arms, and it's kind of the same thing for the front and back legs generally, you have rotation here, in and out, rotation there, a couple of joints here within the leg to basically move like your kind of typical animal leg there, I suppose. And the feet are connected by a ball joint, and then you have a hinge there as well too. You don't have any articulation of the toes. The feet are just like one big solid piece, but you can see the detail up underneath there as well too. I really like the little bits of red accent there, are pretty nice as well. And yeah, these parts on the side of like the blade parts on the side of the shoulder very easily pop off, so maybe just stick a little bit of glue or something on those, or just be careful not to hit those when you're moving stuff around. Otherwise these kind of very easily just go boop. Otherwise, further back there in the body, you do also have some articulation, just kind of a bend and a movement here, as this is just plugged on a ball joint. There's a ball joint between like the front and back half of the body there. And then also the hips are on a joint too, that you can kind of rotate the hips forward and back a little bit. And like I said, the legs can just be moved around in and out, up and down. You can rotate those. You can bend the joints in the legs at a couple positions there. And the feet are the same as with the front feet as well too. As for the tail, kind of tailish kind of section of this, it's this little kind of antenna thing sticking on the back. That's on just a peg there, so you can rotate that up and down if you wanted to. On the other side, I'm not exactly sure what this is actually meant to be. It seems like it's kind of like a a holster kind of thing for like a sword or a knife or some sort of edge weapon or something. But as far as I can tell, there's nothing that actually goes in there as far as I can see in the manual. And I suppose perhaps also worth noting is all the leftover Hexa gear parts that we have here on the A and the E runners that are just all kind of leftover connection pieces that you can use. So I mean, these are all, can be very useful if you're going to be customizing your kits or anything like that. Kit bashing with other Hexa gear parts and things like that. So you just got all these different leftover connection pieces you can use, including this little guy here, which will be your connection piece that you need to use for an action base connector, and that goes right up, all the way up in there in his little butthole. You stick this piece in there so then you can attach it onto an action base, but I mean, you could stick this onto probably a number of different places around on the kit, I would imagine, or something similar. Alright, and then here's a size comparison for you guys. Unfortunately, I don't have a governor kit to put with this, but I think the hand scale frame arm scroll kits are roughly about the same size. It does seem a little bit smaller though, and I tried it out and the arms don't really reach on this, so I can't really show it riding that. It doesn't really seem to fit too well. So I don't know if the hand scale kits are exactly the same or not. But then there's also your standard HG Gundam kit for a size comparison. So as you guys can see, these are not that big, not that small. I mean, they're just kind of a average decent size. And that's really going to be kind of about it for this kit. But let me know your guys' thoughts about it down below. I think it's a really cool kit, really cool design. It gives me a lot of Metal Gear vibes. Not really so much the colors, but I think if you repainted it, you could definitely have something very Metal Gear looking. I think just with the shape of the head especially, reminds me of like the Metal Gear Ray, and also reminds me a little bit of the, I don't know what the mecha dog, kind of wolf thing was called from Metal Gear Rising. Anyway, that one as well too, just obviously reminds me a lot of that. And of course, the great thing about these kits is just the customizability. Whether you want to build this kit just as it is, try out the box, you know, here it is. As you can see, it does look very cool. But these kits are definitely meant to be customized, not necessarily meant to be, I guess, but they're very open to being customized, and that's kind of a thing that Kotobukiya does with a lot of their different lines. They kind of make everything to be very compatible with each other. And that's definitely the case with this Hexa gear stuff. It's kind of like 30 minutes missions. Before there was 30 minutes missions slightly, and also, you know, much more expensive version of 30 minutes missions, unfortunately. But it's the same kind of thing where like everything's compatible. You can mix and match stuff around. You don't even necessarily need to buy anything else. Even just with the parts you got in the box here, you could make something completely different. You can make something very different looking just by all the parts you have in the box, just by rearranging them in some different way or something. So it's very open to you guys' creativity with these kits if that's what you wanted to do. But again, if not, I mean, if you just want to build it up just exactly how it shows you to in the manual, you still get something really cool out of it. So they're definitely a really interesting line. This is only my second kit in the line to build, I guess not including the governor, which is a completely different thing, but my second mecha kit in the line to build. And they're pretty nice. I don't know if I really love them so much, but certain designs I definitely enjoy. This one is pretty cool. If you guys are looking for something to build, I think it's definitely a really cool option. If you're a Zoids fan, again too, you know, I think like in certain parts of the world, Zoids kits are not easy to get your hands on, especially the good Kotobukiya ones. So, you know, this is definitely an option if you can get Kotobukiya kits, but maybe just not the Zoids. If you can get your hands on some of these Hexa gear kits, it's like a good, kind of close enough, I think, maybe to kind of scratch the itch that you're having for building a Zoids kit. So if you're interested, I would say definitely check them out. And so as always guys, the link to USA Gundam store will be down in the video description below, where you guys can check out these kits and everything else there on the site. You can save 10% off everything there using my coupon code as well too, ZakuAurelius10. Of course, you guys know about that. The link and the coupon code are both down in the video description, so check those out. As always guys, thank you so much for watching and for your support. If you have any other further questions about the kit, you know, feel free to ask. It's a pretty straightforward kit though, very cool, very nicely designed, cool details and all that. So I had a lot of fun with this one, and looking forward to building the Lord Impulse up next. It's kind of bigger, badder, meaner, and it should be pretty awesome. So we'll check that out in the next video. Till then guys, hope you're all having a great day. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.